Everyone has that phase in life where you feel drawn to do something that will cause a change in the narrative of your life. But we get stuck at the point of running from it or going for it. And this is the day I finally start my podcast that I've wanted to start in a while now. I had the idea in April, March. I can't clearly remember, but that was how many months ago? Please let me count. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and finally December. That's about 9 months. Long enough to give birth to a child. Okay, yes, I've had this for 9 months. And being someone that doesn't like to rush into things, though sometimes I do on very rare occasions, I don't like rushing into things because I know if I lose interest, that's it and that's all. So I'd rather not venture into it than do it and leave it halfway. So this is the day I start my podcast, recording for the umpteenth time in 3 days. This is 1:09, 9 minutes past 1 a.m. on a Saturday morning, where I can only hear my voice and I can only see dark clouds with 3 leaves, 3 branches. Oh, sorry. So yes, I start my podcast today. Hello, my name is Adebola and you're welcome to the first episode of my podcast. A quick backstory to how I had the idea of starting a podcast. I was in a really confusing stage in my life. I have never felt so confused. And the only place I could find comfort was in the presence of God. It was so nice having to talk to somebody. And I stumbled upon a podcast. Every time I listened to this podcast, it felt like home. It felt like they were discussing my matter. And I just loved the atmosphere and everything about it. Prior to this time, I had the urge to tell people my stories, my not so likable stories, if I may say, and my various reflections on my life. Yes, things that happened to me, things I write in my journal, things I learned, and all of that. I just had the urge to tell people, but I never created an opportunity for it. So seeing a podcast fits into what I wanted to do, I saw it as an avenue to carry out that great dream I had. So I was not so sure about starting the podcast because I was overthinking it. I was like, I had a lot of questions popping up. What if they don't like my voice? What if people don't listen to it? What if I don't talk well? What if I'm rushing while I'm talking? What if my words are not clear? What if I don't find a good app to record? Silly what ifs that popped up at that point in my life. But I just waved it off. And talking to my friends really helps. I'm not even going to lie. Thank you so much if you are listening to this podcast. God bless you. Because they played a giant role in pushing me to do this thing. They'll keep asking, what about the podcast you talked about? You said you wanted to start a podcast. When is it going to start? And I'm like, don't push me. I was the one that told you I wanted to start this thing. Please stop pushing me. In my mind, I didn't tell them, oh, please, don't beat me. Oh. So that was how I felt about starting. And there's this saying that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Each time I remember that quote, I tell myself that if you envision this thing, you have seen this thing, what then is stopping you from taking that bold step? Though you don't know where it's leading you, but what hurt will it cost you if you take that step? Let's just go for this thing. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my life experiences, my thoughts, and possible answers to your future questions. I want this podcast to be a safe space for you anytime you need a friend, or when you are having a bad mental health day, when it feels like the world is coming down before your very eyes, when you need a place to rest, when you need a place to catch your breath. I want this podcast to fit into those functions. And I'm here to tell you that there is comfort here. There is peace here. I want this space to be your go-to friend space, where you can come and remove that mask that you're wearing to confuse the world and just be yourself. I love seeing people who are genuinely happy, like you are smiling from the depth of your heart and it's showing. Yes, I love that. I like it when people feel free to breathe. I like it when people just do things because it is the right thing to do. So I want this space to be that comfort zone for you. If there's anything I've learned while building on this idea of starting a podcast, it's that you should voice out your thoughts to a trusted individual, preferably your friend, or you write it down. Writing it down makes it visible. Even the Bible tells us in Habakkuk 2 verse 2 that we should write the vision and make it plain on the table, that he may run that readeth it. I know it's December, and December comes with a lot of goodies, a lot of celebrations, a lot of Merry Christmas, Happy Boxing Day, compliments of the season, and all. And most of us might be looking back at 2024 and trying to jot down our achievements for the year, but you are not finding anything. Well, I'm here to encourage you that you should not beat yourself up. You are here today, and that makes it possible for you to do something in the next year. So don't beat yourself up and just feel better about yourself. You're going to be better in 2025. Whether or not you like it, you are not where you are at the beginning of the year. You are not where you were at the beginning of the year. So you being here right now, being who you are right now, is an achievement. I'm exhausted. Having said that, this is the pilot episode of my podcast, and we'll do more talking in the next episode. That'll be all from me today. See you in my next episode, and a happy new year to you in advance. I know we are wondering when the next episode will be, and I would say it will be in 2 weeks, because I can't keep up with the weekly thing, but I can go with the 2 weeks. That's very fine by me. So we'll see in 2 weeks. See you in my next episode. Bye.